Remembering Our Spirits from the book Around the Year with Emmett Fox, September 22nd, 2023. Facing Two Ways. Are you double-minded? Jesus says that a double-minded person is unstable in all ways, and that such a person need expect nothing from the great law. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that gives to all men, liberally and unbraided not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. James 1:5-7. This is a very obvious common sense. If you affirm one thing now and the opposite in a half hour, if you meditate helpfully and then go downstairs to talk trouble, it is entirely natural that you should fail to influence people with the peace that comes with prayer. If you stepped into a taxi at Grand Central and told the driver to take you to Central Park, and then after a block told him to take you to the Battery, and then after a couple blocks asked him to go to Central Park again, you could hardly expect the driver to land you at any destination. And yet this is what a good many of us do in practice. We affirm both harmony and disharmony until the subconscious mind is completely muddled. And, of course, our lives are in confusion. When our words and deeds reinforce one another, the effect is powerful and the result is certain. Where they are not in accord, they cancel out, leaving us where we started, or most likely worse off. This is so true. This is a truth that I live by. You cannot have a dual mind. If you have fear-based thinking the majority of the time, and then expect to be in loving relationships, you're making a mistake. You cannot give what you don't have. I lived in such fear-based thinking, perceptions, and beliefs for the majority of my life until my near-death experience. And even after that, it took choosing to live alcohol-free to really become a master. Is the right word master? No, I choose not to use the word master. It took choosing to live alcohol-free to really live in conscious contact with my thought life. And now I manage my thought life, and it no longer manages the crap out of me, leaving me confused, distracted, muddled, bringing chaos and harm into relationships. I'm so grateful. It really matters to me to be in the practice of walking my talk. It is obvious, especially people who are, I like what he said in here. Especially people who want to influence people with the peace that comes from prayer, from being in conscious contact with the love that we are. I love the idea of being an influencer of peace with people. I love that idea. And if I am not walking my talk, then there is no way I can be that. people know. People know when you're being a hypocrite. And there are many, many people who are spiritual sharers, if you will, who could raise the vibration of their practices, of their deeds. And that is true of me. I get to be aware of that as well. A dual mind is a very, very challenging place to live. I'm grateful I've been doing a spiritual practice, and it's a practice for the past 30 years because I am so much less conflicted and I live in a peace, I live in a state of peace of mind more often than not. That's a miracle. And the other thing I want to share is in doing some writing, I came across a quote that I like very much by Albert Einstein. And Albert Einstein's quote is, "Either everything's a miracle or nothing is." Thank you, Mr. Einstein. I believe that. Miracles are the simplest experiences. I have a friend in Santa Barbara, and she is experiencing some really good fortune. And I am so happy for her. I'm so delighted and happy and stoked for all the good that she's receiving in her life. That's a miracle. To experience such joy and gratitude in other people's good. I really, really like that. As always, take the best for you and leave the rest. Have a blessed day.